Hey, what's up guys? Brad with Squared Away every day, and today we're going to be talking about the top 3 things I despise about my Tesla Model X Plaid, and maybe those will help you in your journey if you're deciding to get one, or maybe you'll just see what the heck I'm talking about and what I don't like about such an expensive car and what many would expect to be probably one of the most desirable SUVs on the planet at this moment. If you like this kind of content, please go ahead and give me a like, give me a sub, and let's hop into it. All right, so number 1 on my list of things I despise about this Model X Plaid is going to be the auto doors. As cool as they are, you get the, oh, and this is all Teslas. There we go. As cool as the auto doors are, when you first get the Tesla, you're like, wow, this is so cool. I love the auto doors. In particular, everybody loves the X Falcon Wing doors. Me personally, I was one of those guys. Now, I don't like it at all. It's annoying. And it's just, when you're somebody like me who I move quickly, generally speaking, I'm just trying to like go about my day and get in and out of a car. I want just some normal doors, and you can't turn the motors off on just the passenger and the driver's side, and especially on the Falcon Wing doors, because the doors are too heavy, you can't turn the motors off. So essentially you have to live with it, and it's just not my favorite thing. So personally, like if I'm going to be driving in this car, I go, let's just do it. You'll hear the audio still. All right, so this is how we close the door. I got to hit a button. Okay, now the door closes, the little window goes up, that's fine. But when I go to open it, I have to hit that button again, and it kind of does this partial open thing, and I don't like it. The way I like to get in and out of a car is like this. Look at this. I can jam that shut, that's fine. Not too good on the motors probably, but when I get out of the car, I'm getting out of the car. I'm getting out of the car. I don't like to sit there and wait for it to open for me. I'm not one of those guys that when you go to a nice restaurant, they pour the drinks for you, the wine or the sparkling water or whatever. I just pour it myself. I'm not any better than you. I just get it going, whether it's pouring a drink or it's getting out of the car. So personally speaking, I do not like the auto doors, particularly when you're in a tight space and it opens up just partially and you're trying to open the door. I will say this about the X doors. The sensors on them are very good, and it will do everything it can to protect itself from hurting itself. And so when I'm getting out of the car in my garage, my trash can is like kind of close to the vehicle. So when I open it, it opens up just a little bit, and I try to push it just to the point where right before it's going to hit the trash can, and it doesn't want to do it. You're really fighting that motor. So number 1, the auto doors suck. Okay, number 2 is going to be the 6-seater configuration, specifically in the X Plaid. Now, I don't really know why, but for whatever reason, Tesla does not allow you to have a 5-seater or a 7-seater if you're ordering the Model X Plaid, and it's probably because the captain's chairs that are power assisted are probably just a more expensive option. And so that's probably why you can't go ahead and just do a 5-seater or a 7-seater. Nonetheless, not all of us have this big brood of children running around. I've got 1 kiddo, and I don't need all of these 6 seats in here. So what I end up doing, and I haul a lot of crap for work. So I put down that 3rd row is what I essentially end up doing. And you can see we've got this gap. There's a gap right there. And what ends up happening is when you're driving around, that little gap allows things to fall forward and just slip outside of where it's supposed to be carried during the travel of your drive. That was weird. Nonetheless, it doesn't hold on to your gear very good back there. So if you have to slightly, not even hard, if you slightly hit on the brakes or something like that, I have stuff falling through that little crack all the time. I would much prefer to go ahead and just have a 5-seater for a couple reasons. Number 1, my kiddo would love it. She hates just sitting behind me. She likes to sit in the middle seat, and it's the safest spot to be if you're a kid. And so I'd like to put her right in the center there, but I can't. There's no seat. And then that center seat would catch all of the gear. It would act as just kind of like a barrier so that everything's not falling forward when I'm transporting stuff around in the car. So that is number 2. Okay, and you guessed it, the yoke. The yoke on the Model S Plaid, the Model X Plaid is just, I'm sorry guys, it's dumb. The novelty wears off real quick, and I know there's a lot of people that, I honestly I don't even know if half of you even have a frickin' S or an X with a yoke in it, but nonetheless, I've had both, a Model S Plaid and a Model X Plaid. Both of them had the yoke, obviously. And it's just, there's no serious advantage of why I would want this yoke over just the standard wheel. Okay, fine. I get a little bit better visibility of that screen right there. I don't really care. I would much rather just have the functionality of a normal wheel. Also, look at the shape of this thing. It's so wide. When you go to turn this, it really, if your legs are like even kind of near it, it can bump into your leg. It's just annoying. It's not like you can't get used to it. It's just annoying. Now, all these little features in terms of like where the blinkers are and all that kind of stuff, that's fine. You could have done that on a wheel. It doesn't really make a difference. The biggest problem for me with the Yoke is I can't just hit the horn. That is the dumbest thing ever. People say that you can go ahead and hit this thing right here and it'll honk, and you saw right there, it was honking right there. But a lot of times your instinct to go ahead and stop somebody from getting in your lane or getting an animal out of the road or something like that quickly is to just hit the middle. Why? I don't understand why they did that with the horn. I think that's probably the dumbest thing they did. And the problem is people, there's a sect of people out there that do not want to convert to electric cars. Why are we putting weird steering wheels in here called a yoke to make it that much more hard to adapt to an electric car? I think it was a bad call from Tesla personally. And now there's the option, as of like 3 days ago, there's an option to where you can buy an S or an X with a wheel or a yoke. And so personally speaking, if that was me, I would go ahead and just get the wheel, because again, there's no real functional reason why I would have a yoke versus a wheel. It's kind of dumb to me. I know it looks cool and it feels futuristic, but that wears off quickly and it's just not something I'm interested in. So those are the top 3 things that I despise about my Tesla Model X Plaid. The first being the auto doors. Ridiculous, stupid. I think this car would be so much better if the doors were not auto and it was just standard doors that you could open and close. I think that would be much, much better. The Falcon Wing doors look super cool, don't get me wrong, but it's just not that functional, especially in inclement weather. And I like to just get in and out of the car, and I just get out of the car. I'm not like waiting for the door to open. And I know that's stupid because it's like a second. I'm waiting a second or 2 seconds for the door to open. I just don't operate that way. I want to get in and out of the car just how I normally would get in and out of a car. I don't need to sit here and, oh, the door opens. It's stupid. I don't like it. The X doors are very cool. Like, that's an awesome thing. But for somebody that has a X Plaid as like a daily driver, I just want to use the thing. I don't need that. I just want to use the thing. So top 3 things. Auto doors, hate that. The 6-seater configuration, dumb. I should be able to do 5 or 7 if you want to. You should be able to do either. You're paying the most money. It's like one of their most expensive cars. I think it is the most expensive car you can buy from them at this point. Why can't I have the options I want? Stupid. And then 3 is the yoke. Now we can actually fix that. But for me personally, owning the S Plaid and the X Plaid, that was not an option prior. And so I'm glad that they went ahead and opened that option up for people, because it makes a lot more sense. Again, there's no functional reason why I would have the yoke versus the wheel. No functional reason. Sure, is it cooler looking? Sure. Is it, does it feel fun? And sure. It's just not functional. The wheel is superior in terms of controlling the vehicle. That's all. So that's my personal opinion on it. Guys, if you like this kind of stuff, please go ahead and give me a like, give me a sub, and we'll see you in the next one.